Good evening. Welcome to the Recreation Parks Cultural Affairs Council Committee. It's a hybrid meeting and the public hearing to discuss park hours. Public hearing is November 13th, 2024. Roll call, we have Mr. Johan Lopez, Ms. Nicole Eady, myself, and Ms. Lisa Shanahan. On to new business. Code of the City of Norwalk, 74-13 curfew. 1 hours of use of the city parks by the public shall be established and may be amended from time to time by the Director of Parks and Recreation, subject to the approval of the Common Council. The Director shall submit the proposed schedule of hours to the Parks and Recreation Committee. The committee shall hold a public hearing thereon, which hearing shall conform to the requirements of State Statute 1-191.1. Following the public hearing, the committee shall forward the proposed schedule of hours to the Common Council for final approval. The item reads as follows: Norwalk, Connecticut, Norwalk CT Recreation and Parks Director's recommended park hours. City Charter, Chapter 74-13 gives the Recreation and Parks Director the authority to set park hours with the approval of the Common Council after a public hearing in the Recreation and Parks Committee. Therefore, so I will stop, and I think that is where you go again.
I'm Robert Stowers. I'm the Director of Parks and Recreation, and I will read the rest of the request. Therefore, it is my recommendation that Norwalk park hours are set as follows. Neighborhood and pocket parks. From September Labor Day to May Memorial Day, proposed hours shall be from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. The second part of the year, May Memorial to September, the proposed hours are 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. That is for pocket parks and neighborhood parks. For regional parks, the hours shall be from September Labor Day to May Memorial Day, proposed hours 7 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. Except Veterans Park, the proposed hours there are 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The proposed hours for from September Memorial Day to September to Labor Day are 7 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. Oyster Shell Park, Calf Pasture Beach, Taylor Farms, and Cranberry Park. Except Veterans Park, the proposed hours there are from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. This is what I am recommending as the Director of Parks, Recreation and Parks.
Thank you, Mr. Stowers. So we'll move on to the public hearing piece. James, is there anyone online?
Diane Loricello.
Good evening, Chairwoman Young. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, thank you. I was just going through the different agendas for this evening, a busy night for the council, and I came across this, and I read Mr. Stowers' thoughts about the reasons for setting up specific times, and that made sense. Right now, dawn to dusk is a movable target. But here's the thing. I guess I don't care that Westport and Stamford are open till 10 p.m. I wanted to know, has there been a study done with data that all of you can check on the labor cost of extending hours that late into the evening? I mean, I'm much older than I used to be, but hanging out in a park until 10 p.m. is something that I'm kind of surprised about, that we would have the labor to provide the safety and enforcement of our rules of the parks. So I would like that to be answered. And if, for whatever reason, a labor study was not done, I would ask that you put this on pause until that is brought to your attention. The second thing is, as to public outreach, I wondered if any of you council members asked your constituents about these times. Certainly, a safety issue at Oyster Shell Park, leaving it open till 10:30, to me sounds like a true potential for problems. I'm sorry. I was kind of pretty surprised at the lateness of the hours. I also feel that how or will there be capital costs, and what are they? I think we would need to better secure gates. And in the past, I have spoken about Cranberry Park, that I see people coming in the traditional exit, all the time, especially the dog folks, some of whom are from Wilton. So what kind of security measures to actually close those parks are going to happen, and
2 minutes, 30 seconds.
are you in need of additional capital costs to do that? But the main thing is the labor and the safety issue. Thank you very much. I look forward to listening later to your discussion about this. And council members, you may want to consider going back to your constituents in a regular basis a little more. That way you would truly be able, people don't read the legal notices, you know that. So thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Porcelli. And let the record show that Councilmember Doug Sutton has joined us. Is there anyone else, James? Okay. So that concludes our public hearing. There are no other participants?
In terms of some of the questions that were asked, as you may know that most of our parks are not gated. The gated parks we can secure at those times. We also have the responsibility of the police department to enforce some of the rules and regulations, and that's what they do. And these hours are really set so they can take some enforcement action on the hours that are posted. Currently, there is no hours posted. So there are issues and problems with folks hanging out in parks until much later than 10:30, much later than 11 in some cases. And so that's already going on. And we've been in communication with the police department, and we've made some agreements with the police department as well. But that is, we've taken precautions. We talked to the departments, we talked to the police department, and we run this across the departments, and we've gotten approvals from and agreements that these are correct hours. These are also consistent with parks departments across the country. These hours are very consistent with those, and we've did surveys of those as well as our local regional parks. So we're very comfortable that these hours are hours that we can put forth to the public, and we can have better law enforcement and moving people out of the parks that are committing minor violations of the law. So we feel comfortable, and we feel that it will provide more safety to our residents.
So that concludes our public hearing. Okay. Parks and Cultural Affairs Council Committee meeting of November 13th, 2024. In the roll call, we have Mr. Johan Lopez, Ms. Nicole Eady, Mr. Doug Sutton, Ms. Lisa Shanahan and myself present. I don't know if I missed anybody. Right. So moving on to the minutes of the October 9th, 2024 meeting minutes. Are there any corrections, notations? If there are none, all in favor of accepting the minutes? Unanimous. Public participation.
I'm so sorry. I was trying to hit the button
Oh, I'm sorry.
to raise my, I'm sorry. And then I went like this, which looks like I was voting. But anyway, there is a correction. I'm sorry.
Okay.
On page 5, the second sentence,
Mhm.
and it should be movie. It says the family movie night.
Okay,
Okay, that was the only thing I saw. Thank you. Sorry about that.
all right. So we've heard that correction, so all in favor, so we approve the minutes with that correction. Thank you very much, Ms. King. So we move on to public participation. Is there anyone there? to speak? Okay, they're probably with the items on the agenda, more than likely.
Joe Modavari.
Joe Manafari?
Yeah, he's on.
He's on. Okay, so we'll move forward with, there's no old business, with new business. The city of Norwalk reserves the right to cancel the event for public health or safety reasons as determined by the city of Norwalk in its sole discretion. The city of Norwalk shall not be liable for damages arising from the cancellation of an event. Item 5.1, approved code of the city of Norwalk 74-13 curfew as presented. Would someone move that item? Thank you, Ms. Edie. Okay, and Mr. Starr, do you want to speak to that? This one. Approve the code that we just did.
Oh. So this was we held a public hearing and we have done a survey, a local regional survey on hours, park hours. This came into being because of the need for more specific hours for parks based upon security of our residents and also just the enforcement, the ability to enforce the hours. And currently we go from dawn to dusk. So there's really no, the police have no enforcement power to move people out of the parks. And we need general operating hours for the parks for various reasons. Basically, it also keeps our labor costs down when we have regulated hours and the parks are not always open. Also, it helps in the communities. It helps to keep hours of kind of peace where things kind of slow down and people don't have to hear a lot of noise in the parks and stuff. So we need general park hours. So we bring this to you as recommending to the council for these specific hours that are noted in the legislation.
Any questions from council members? On the proposed hours? Mr. Lopez?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Mr. Sowers. Quick question on for for the regional parks, the Veterans Park, from 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. The 8 p.m. is that what product of the results from the survey? And would there really be much of a difference between 8 o'clock until like 9 o'clock or 9:30 for that particular park? That's all. I'm just wondering.
Yeah, what we did once we conducted the survey, we also ran it across the public safety, the police department, the chief of police, and also we did some outreach to the neighborhood in that area, and we felt like this was the hours that we could comfortably satisfy the neighborhood and also have enforcement of Veterans Park. So we decided, we know that there is also a marina there, but there's another entrance for people to get in and service their boats or so we felt like this was the hour that we agreed and the police department agreed would be the best time for this period.
Perfect. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
Any other questions, comments? I do have a question about the Veterans Park, so thank you,
Mhm.
Johan, for bringing that up.
Mhm.
So 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. So what would that really look like for cars or people that are just in their cars enjoying the park? We're not
Yeah,
we're making people move that
it's
way
a-
too.
it's always hard to get people out of parks. I mean, that's part of the issue the police are having with us, and that, for them to go in and get people out in time, it's a hassle for them, and so we're going through a very extensive sign program right now where we'll have signs in the parks, and there'll be marked hours, and they'll be very visible. And we will have, in terms of parking, we will have signs there as well. It's people do get locked up in parks. They do get locked up in parks as well, because they'll be out walking and being out, out of their cars. And this is an issue we'll have to deal with from time to time.
Thank you. So if there are no more questions, comments, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Thank you. Many of these things-
Oh, Chair, Councilwoman Shanahan also raised her hand. There we
Oh,
go.
I'm sorry, yes.
Yeah,
yes,
she
Ms.
raised her hand.
Shanahan, Thank you, thank you. So item 2, approve the use of Calf Pasture Beach and immediate surrounding grounds by the City of Norwalk Department of Recreation and Parks for their 4th annual Jingle Bell Run to be held on Saturday, December 14th, from 9 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. Set up time at 8:30 a.m. Saturday, with tear down by 11:30 a.m. Approximately 275 people. Someone move the item? Thank you, Mr. Sutton.
And this is a park department activity and event. It's one of our runs. It's been an annual run. It's festive, it's fun. Folks, they dress up in various costumes. It's really a hoot. A lot of families running with their kids, a lot of mothers running with their daughters. It's festive. We expect around anywhere from 275 people to 300. Currently, we have almost nearly 200 registered now. And it's just an event that we annually put on, and we'll continue to do this and hope it grows.
All right, any questions for Mr. Stowers? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. 5.3, approve the use of Veterans Park and immediate surrounding grounds by Norwalk Public Schools and City of Norwalk Department of Recreation and Parks for the 33rd Annual Norwalk River Fun Run to be held on Saturday, December 7th, from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Setup time 9 a.m. Saturday, with tear down by 11:30 a.m. Approximately 700 people. Someone move the item, please. Thank you, Mr. Jones. Okay.
Yeah, we have Joe Modafferi to speak on this.
Mr. Mataferri? See you.
Who was there?
How's that? Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can, sir.
That's cool. You can't see me, but you can hear me. That's okay. This is like 33rd year we're doing this, and even though I've retired, I've come back to do this because I believe in it. We get all the teachers involved, all the schools involved. You can have 300, you can have 400. It all depends to parents. They don't have to purchase a shirt; they can show up. It's a great event. It worked out quite well at Parks and Rec coming aboard. I mean, this is one of the first functions that actually the Board of Ed and Parks and Rec teamed up It's a great match. Their race is the following week. They also have a chance to pass out flyers the day of our race, which is the 7th to the 14th. Again, it started probably longer than 33 years ago. I've been involved 33 years. So it's probably like 35, 36 years. So I hope there's no problem tearing it down. It's not really a race. It's an environment. You know, that used to be the opening of the holiday season for Norwalk and the Christmas lights being lit down in South Norwalk. That's the beginning of it when we first started it, and it's growing, but it shouldn't be a problem. I hope not. I hope you guys vote in favor of it.
Any questions for Mr. Mataferri? No. Mr. Mataferri, I just have to say 33 years of this that's a very, very long time. This is a real staple event for the city of Norwalk and for our school system. So I appreciate your years of that.
Teaming up with Parks and Rec was important
Yes,
because they're one. It's the same kids, and through Robert and Kenny, it's been a good relationship, and it's just getting better and better. And I think that's important because we're servicing the same kid. If it's their summer camps, our summer camps, we all work together. It's a one big family. It's the city of Norwalk, and we're very fortunate to have people that work for our kids and our families.
absolutely. If there are no further questions or comments, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. Chair.
Thank you. Hey, everyone, have a great Thanksgiving.
You too.
You do, Jeff.
Item 5.4, approve the use of Washington Street Plaza and immediate surrounding grounds by City of Norwalk Business Development and Tourism for their holiday extravaganza to be held on Saturday, December 7th from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m. Setup time 9 a.m. Saturday with tear down by 10 p.m. Approximately 3,000 people. Someone move the item, please. Thank you, Ms. Shanahan. And who do we have to speak to this?
Someone from, I think it's Sabrina or from someone from the Department of Tourism.
Do you see anybody, James?
No, she's from the next.
Okay.
Well,
So
I'll
you can
speak on it. I'll speak on it. This is an event that started a couple of years ago. It's been very successful. The residents really get out for this event. 3,000 people they estimate, and last year there was probably around that many people. And it's just a great event. They team up with Parks in terms of what and the location at Washington Street Plaza, and the things they need from us. We join in with them, and it's going to be a great event. It's a citywide event. It helps our city. A lot of surrounding city residents come to this, so it's one of our staple events right now.
Thank you. Any questions or comments? Okay, all in favor? All right, that's unanimous. 5.5, approve the use of Taylor Farm and immediate surrounding grounds by Friends of Norwalk Dogs for their holiday social to be held on Saturday, December 14th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Setup time by 10:30 a.m. Saturday, with tear down by 2 p.m. Approximately 75 people. Someone move the item, please. Okay, Mr. Sutton, thank you. And who do we have here to speak to this?
We have Catherine Stendiger.
Hello, Ms. Senator. You on?
Oh, thank you. We had a really wonderful Halloween event where News 12 showed up. We got coverage in the Norwalk Hour and Nancy on Norwalk, and it's about 100 people in all over, I think, the time frame, about 150 dogs. And we had 2 food trucks, and we cleaned up after. And it was a really lovely time. And I do want to apologize. We had made a commitment to always have our signs in English and Spanish, and we didn't last time. And this time, one side of our posters have English and the other side have Spanish, because there was definitely a large number of Spanish speaking people at the event that didn't speak English. So we really want to make sure that it's a very inclusive event.
Any
I
questions?
really
for Ms.
appreciate Ken and Robert working with us. And
Thank you. Any questions for Ms. Sneaker? No? Okay, all in favor? Okay, unanimous. You know what? I should have asked my question of you, Ms. Snedeker, but I'm gonna ask, so how do you sign up? Do you sign up for this? Or you just show?
we do have a QR code where people can, suggest a donation is $20 a dog. If people come up to the table to pay, we take their donations and we can get a receipt. If they don't come up to the table, we don't charge people. And we ended up, I think, raising about, we had a Norwalk, East Norwalk Community Neighborhood Association gave us $200. In the end, I think we ended up raising about $1,600. So it's really low key, and the people that are pledging money are doing it for the benefit of the parks and to buy poop bags, and it's also a public park where people are bringing their dogs, so there's no roped off area. It's pretty
Right.
chill.
Yeah, this organization, they came to me about a year ago, a little over a year ago, and wanted to really provide us with some advocacy and support for policies concerning dogs, and really helping us with Taylor Farms, and they've taken on the responsibility for actually, we had cut out poop bags, but they've taken the responsibility for that and has supplied that. And they're helping us, with just with our resident dog owners, and they've gathered them, and they're a support organization for dog owners in Norwalk, and they've been very helpful to us, and they've advocated. We're building a new parking lot there. We're expanding the parking lot there because of their advocacy, and there'll be other improvements, I'm sure.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Ms. Snedeker, and wishing you success on that.
Thank you so much, and thank you both to Robert and Ken for listening to us all the time.
Have a good evening. Last item, 5.6, approve the use of Taylor Farm and immediate surrounding grounds by Greenwich Kennel Club and Longshore Southport Kennel Club for their AMC Dog Show to be held on Thursday, June 5th, 2025, Friday, June 26th, Saturday, June 7th, and Sunday, June 8th, from 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. Setup time by 9 a.m. Tuesday, June 3rd, with tear down by 12 p.m. Monday, June 9th, approximately 450 people. Could someone move that item, please? Thank you, Mr. Lopez. And who do we have to speak to that?
Nancy Nelson, I believe. Nancy Nelson.
Do you see Ms. Nelson?
Hello. This would be our 20th year using Taylor Farm Park for this event. Last year we had an entry of between 700 and roughly about 950 dogs. This is the only AKC sanctioned event in Fairfield County. I pulled out the economic impact statements that the American Kennel Club prepares for each state. And they say on average for just a weekend event, so we're doing 4 days, it raises $2.5 million to the local economy. So we feel that this is beneficial for the city. We have a couple of events that are open to any dog, so that we would like to welcome. It's not just purebred dogs that are welcome to compete and be involved. We've reached out to the Girl Scouts a couple of times, and we've had tours of the show that lead to merit badges that the Girl Scouts have and the Brownies have. So this is a nice event to have. So I think in the city of Norwalk, it's probably the largest confirmation show in the state of Connecticut. We don't have many in the state of Connecticut. There's only a few.
Anything else we'd like to add to that, Mr. Stiles?
No, it's just been an annual event, it's one of the staple events of our city, and we'd like to continue it. We've recently had some collaboration with the Norwalk Friends of Norwalk Dogs as well. So providing space for continuing of dog owners being able to use the park at the same time. And so we've got real cooperation from both Norwalk Friends of Norwalk Dogs and the show. So we're working together. Dog owners and dog owners that are in the show, they get along. So we're working on that. Mhm.
We had a few glitches last year, but I've already met to try to work some of that out. And
Right.
some of it is just, it's usually just one or two people, and there's every event you've got one or two people that are a problem.
Yeah.
So,
Well, thank you for your continued participation.
Every time I hear these sorts of things, it just shows that Norwalk has a lot of variety and opportunities to participate as people and as, the furry friends, but I don't know what you call them. I have one of them at home, but that is not mine. But this is just amazing, and to hear it every time just lets me know that we've got a lot going on in the city of Norwalk.
well,
For
it's
everybody.
yeah, it's historically too, the Greenwich Kennel Club show, which goes back almost 100 years, is one of the leading shows. We've had several winners of the Greenwich Kennel Club show go on and win Westminster and go on and win the National Dog Show. So they're the dogs that you see on TV after the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. And our members, well, last year I promoted the show on the Today Show. So, we're getting that word out for the dog community, and to have that event locally where people don't have to go to the city to see a dog show, it's really kind of special. There's only 2 other places in Connecticut that I'm aware of that actually have a dog show like this.
And it just makes me think, you brought up something that you were on the Today Show. Then I'm sure you taped some of this. It just seems like there's a way that we can advertise this or just promote it. It should be a part of what we promote here in the city.
Love to have that happen. And we've had dogs compete at the highest level at this show. We also had 60 Minutes as part of their genome project that they have highlighted. They've had a running story with Anderson Cooper, came to the show here in Norwalk with Anderson Cooper to film too, 2 years ago. So, because we're close to the city, and we do get some media attention, and when they want purebred dogs and they don't want to do it at the larger, like Westminster, there's some limitations on that event. They will come to us and use us for that. And so it's one of the things that I think is very beneficial. We are absolutely the closest show to New York City, other than there's one in New Jersey that's probably just as close, but the only one this direction.
Amazing work, Ms. Nelson. So thank you. Do we have any other questions or comments for Ms. Nelson? All right. All in favor? I think it's unanimous, right?
Yeah.
I might have to go to that show.
Well, we'd love to have you, and bring your furry friend and come and run Fast Cat, which is a 100-yard dash for dogs. Any dog can do it.
Oh.
So it's just how fast they run it. Somebody lets them go and somebody calls them. It's great. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun for kids too. And we really would like to have the kids exposed, because we want the young. I have a junior in high school that travels with me and shows her dog all the time. So it is something that's open to children right now, starting at age 9, but there's an event that we haven't been offering, partly because we conflict with the school schedule that weekend, for younger children too.
Mr. Lopez? Did you hand up?
Thank you, Madam Chair. No, I had a question on a previous item, but we can discuss right after,
Okay.
right
Well,
after.
I think we voted on this stuff, so we're all
Well,
set.
thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you.
You. Have a great
You-
evening.
Madam Chair, did we vote on number 5? Did we take a vote on number 5?
Didn't we? Friends of North,
I don't recall,
Yeah, we did.
we did.
we did, okay, perfect, okay. All right.
Yeah. Okay, the Friends of the Dog. Okay, that concludes the agenda. Do I have a motion? Thank you, to adjourn. Thank you so much, Ms. Shanahan. All right, thank you all.
Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.